Welcome to today's podcast where we are going to discuss the benefits of retiring in Cherokee County. Top 3 reasons why you should think about retiring in Cherokee County. 1, peaceful. 2, affordable. And number 3, staying active. So let's kind of go through those and I'll give you my spiel on why I think it is a good idea. So the first thing is relocating from a big town to a small town is sometimes a little overwhelming for people, but we have a unique location or setting here where you're really 1 hour to Tulsa and about 1 hour to Fayetteville and the Bentonville area. So as far as airports for visiting friends and family or bringing those individuals in, it's pretty much an easy 1 hour-ish drive. Also for elevated medical, which I personally think we have a ton here, but again, because of our unique setting, you are really in a very easy drive time to any of those. But why you should retire here, the low cost of living and low cost of property taxes. Now, those of you who are already here, you're going to kick up dust a little bit because recently we have had increases in our property taxes, but that is because we went so long without having them. So people coming in from out of state are still very, very happy with our average property taxes. So keep that in mind. That's a good thing. There is no state tax on Social Security. Did you know that? So that's a big one. And then also just the peaceful aspect of living in green country. Cherokee County is also known as green country, and right now it is showing off. It is really, really gorgeous out there. We also have the amenities of several lakes. We're within an hour drive. It's outrageous how many lakes. You can't drive an hour and not run into a lake in our market. Here in Tahlequah specifically, we have Fort Gibson Lake, Tenkiller Lake. Those are very easy within 20 to 30 minute drives. Then there's Eufaula and Grand and Ucha, and I could go on and on. And then also we have the Illinois River. So whether you're wanting to do fishing, picnicking, floating, all of that. So just a nice little day drive or day trip. Healthcare access. We have Northeastern Healthcare Systems here in Tahlequah, and we also have Cherokee Nation W.W. Hastings Hospital and CNOC. And then I really should have counted this, but we have numerous urgent cares and after-hour contingencies for you to consider. But because of the 2 hospitals, we also have several specialists here in our town. And then, as I'd mentioned earlier, you're still just an hour drive to if you needed an even, different specialist. And then even Oklahoma City is only about 3.5 hours away. So if it was something elevated, then you could utilize that. Also, the Cherokee Nation Health Center, as I had mentioned, for tribal members. But if you are a tribal member, that is free, and that's a great reason to move to Cherokee County for free health care. And then also local VA clinics. That is a big deal. If you are a veteran, then you actually have access, especially if you're a tribal member and a veteran, then you have access to any or all of those or a combination of. So, and those facilities are as close as Muskogee and then also Tulsa. So again, very, very easy drive. Now, where to live if you want to relocate to Cherokee County? Obviously, I would want to live at Cookson or the Pettit Bay area to be near the lake. I don't currently live there, but I'm not retired. But if you're a nature lover and you like just a little bit slower pace, but you want all the amenities of a medium-sized town, then I do think you might want to, look into lake living or the lake area. And there are little pockets that are definitely beginning to grow with that 55 and older contingency group. Also, townhomes, patio homes in Tahlequah, very low maintenance. We don't have those typically for sale, the townhomes, but we do have some great rentals. And that's everything from Go Ye Village, which is a 55 and up community, or just property owners who have built new townhomes and have them, and it's very, very low maintenance because it is so new. And again, it's not your problem because you would be renting or leasing. And then also just the peaceful rural spots or areas, if you wanted to live in Keys or Hulbert, Welling, we have all of these little pocket communities where you can purchase a couple of acres, have a nice ranch style home, all single level, and have no restrictions, park your RV, your boats, hit the river and the lakes, and just have easy access to town, and then also those nature, amenities. So now, staying active, this is one of my favorite parts because Cherokee County, you can be as active as you possibly want to be. One of the things that I love about some of the clients that have relocated here is just their activism and their community support and involvement. And so what I'm talking about is just the involvement in our local food banks, Feed My Sheep, which is basically where they go in every week and you're on a set schedule and you basically fix a meal for as many people who need that and want to come in. Civic groups, NSU, the Humane Society, churches, it doesn't end. Habitat for Humanity, Help in Crisis. There are so many nonprofits, the Zoe Institute, there we go, Zoe Institute, and I know I'm missing so many more. But if you like to stay active, Resellables, is that correct? Is one of my favorites, and it's downtown, and it's basically a resale shop. Remarkables, not Resellables. Thank you, Remarkables. And there are some amazing women who just give all of their time and keep that place running. So if you like to stay active, there is no shortage of how you can stay active, give back to the community, and really get involved and meet some of the most amazing people. And it is about 50-50 on any of those organizations. When I've had someone on the podcast or I've gone to do an event with them and I'm like, so are you homegrown? Are you from Tahlequah? It's about 50% of the volunteers are, and the other 50% have relocated here. And I just love that because they're bringing in new ideas and new ways that things that worked in larger areas that we're able to implement here. So staying active through volunteerism is perfect. The next is just the senior activities through the Nutrition Center. Can't say that, through the Nutrition Center. And several of these smaller communities also have little event centers or community centers. And they have lots of programs, everything from exercise programs to, again, involvement of where you could become a volunteer grandparent or, work with the school system, some of the other civic centers or civic duties. And then the last would be to take NSU classes or join local clubs. And I think that is really cool how many people relocate here who have retired and are not ready to just be at home all day, every day. And so they do go to NSU and take classes, or they join local clubs and become master gardeners, or the trails, they become hikers, bikers, all of the things. So there are just so many. And what I typically will point people to is our Facebook groups, some of the event sites. We personally have one, What to Do in Tahlequah, and it has a list of those. And we're still only touching the tip of the iceberg. But again, if you want to be active, Cherokee County can help you with that for sure. And then a few pro tips. We have Lake Region Fiber Optics Internet, which makes remote life really easy. So you're going to have great internet service if you want to Zoom with family and friends, or you're semi-retired and still want to work from home. It's just a great internet. And again, I'm not selling the internet, but I have it, and it's been a lifesaver for people who don't necessarily want to live in the center of town, but still need access to that. And I would even say for healthcare, because so many of the physicians now offer almost like a televised healthcare. The next would be plan for seasonal yard work. Pro tip, if you're moving to Cherokee County, that is something that you will want to keep in mind because we do have extreme temperatures from one end to the next. But again, everything from raking leaves to occasionally shoveling snow and mowing the lawn. But again, no shortage of people that would be happy to be hired to do that for you. And then the third pro tip is you really will need a vehicle in Cherokee County. That's the one thing that we're still working on, is getting really good public transportation. And if you're in a rural area, there's not really a whole lot to offer in that aspect. So that's one thing I would keep in mind if you were relocating. A vehicle would be necessary. We do have the CATS bus, but again, it's not specific on time. And I wouldn't say it's not reliable, it's just not something that you would utilize for specific appointments. On something like that, having a vehicle or having someone scheduled to pick you up and drop you off would be the best way to go. But those are my tips for if you're thinking about retiring to Cherokee County. Hope that helps. As always, guys, please like, follow, and share. Thank you so much for this question. It was a great one, and can't wait to see you on the next episode.